video, you are going to be asked to do something at the very end, and it involves responding back to the comment section of this video. So I'm going to go through two different ways to factor the exact same expression. The first is referred to AC plus grouping. AC plus grouping. Now, how do we do this? So I'm going to first identify, notice it's in standard form, I'm going to identify what is the A, the B, and the C. So A is 4, B is -5, and C is 6. In this position, I'll always take A times C, and over here will always be the B, always. So A times C, and I forgot this is a negative, okay. A times C is -24 because 4 times -6 is -24. And my B is -5. Now I need to work on all these combinations that allow me to find two numbers that when I multiply them, I end up with -24, and when I combine them, I end up with a -5. So I'm just going to use guess and check here. So 1 and 24. I don't care which one is negative. If only two numbers are being multiplied and you end up with a negative, one is positive and one is negative. Now, it doesn't matter which one's positive, which one's negative. The difference of these two numbers is never -5. Cross it out. Let's go 2 and 12. Again, it doesn't matter which one's positive, which one's negative. They are never going to combine to equal -5. Now, let's try 3 and 8. So 3 and 8 this time. Now, 3 and 8 could achieve 24 when you multiply if one of them is negative. But in order for us to end up with a -5, would we have a positive 8 or a -8? Well, let's check it out. 3 and -8 or -3 and +8. What would these equal? Opposite sign subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. Opposite sign subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. I want to end up with a -5. So I need a -8 and a +3. Now this method is called AC grouping. So what we're going to do is I'm going to rewrite this original expression, 4x squared. Now I'm going to rewrite -5x. I know -5 is equivalent to -8 and +3. So instead of putting a -5x, I'm going to write -8x and +3x because I know when I combine these, I end up with a -5x. I rewrote the original expression, but I changed -5x to equal the combination that multiplies to equal -24 and combines to give us a -5. From here, we're going to use what we learned on Friday and we reviewed today, which is factoring by grouping. So I underlined the first two. I recognize I can factor out a 4 and an x. And I'm left with 1x. 4 times 1, 2 x's. 4 times -2 and an x. Whatever's in parentheses goes in back. I put a really light question mark here. What times 3x equals 3x? I can't just put a 3. It has to be a +3. Positive 3x, -6. Put a line down the middle. Notice they both have a 1x minus 2. In front of the first is a 4x. In front of the second is a +3. And now I have, this is an equivalent form. This is factored form. It is an equivalent form of the original expression. This is called AC plus grouping. This is called AC plus grouping. I'm going to go over the second method. The second method, to me, may be a little bit quicker for some of you. I'm not sure which method you were taught by. I did ask the freshman teachers what method they used, and so I am exposing you to both methods. 4x squared minus 5x minus 6. Well, in much of the same way, this is the A, this is the B, and this is the C. So it starts off the same way. We're going to multiply in this position. We're going to multiply the A times the C every single time. So 4 times -6 is -24, and I'm going to put down my B every single time in this position. And the same way, I'm trying to figure out that combination that is going to multiply to give you -24 and combine to give you -5. Now, we know from just doing it using a previous method, we know it's -8 and +3. Now, this would be different. If you said +8 and -3, you'd get it wrong. The sign on these matters. Okay, now whatever you have here, you're going to circle. And we're going to rewrite it off to the side. And the key numbers you were able to achieve that met this combination of multiplying and combining are going to go in back. So -8's in back and +3 is in back. I take whatever this number is and I divide it by 2. So this is x to the first and x to the first. So if this was a 4, it'd be x squared and x squared. If this was a 10, be x to the fifth and x to the fifth. And then there's only 2 more steps that are really quick. Whatever number is a leading coefficient, we're going to put underneath the numerical values, in this case, of 8 and 3. And now we see, can we divide? So 8 divided by 4 is 2. And I can't divide this. And remember, you have access to a calculator, so you can grab your calculator. And if you're not sure, take 3 divided by 4 and press enter. If you get a decimal amount, you can't do it. Or if you haven't learned this, there's a button here on the side that says math. When you press it one time, it goes to fraction. Press enter twice, and it will reduce it if it's possible. Now, if you can't reduce, and it doesn't give you a whole number, we're going to push it back up. So we're going to take this number. It can't be reduced. I push it back up. The 4 goes up top. The 3 stays in back. And we have the exact same answer. This method is called bottoms up. This method is called bottoms up because we're taking that bottom number and we're pushing it up if we cannot reduce it. I would like you to go into the comment section of this video to show me that you watched, and you are going to tell me one of 2 methods. Which one makes more sense to you? Is it the AC grouping method? Do you prefer that method? Or do you prefer the bottoms up method? Please go ahead and comment